Great Biafrans, shall we remain in sin until grace abound? God forbid. Though our way seems to be no way, but God will surely surprise us with joy. Even when all our enemies encamp around us, God will show us victory. It looks helpless, but I'm assuring you that it is darkest before it is dawn, but our salvation is coming nearer, is drawing nearer. Remain focused, remain resolute, remain determined, remain truthful. Fairness and justice, equity is on the way, because our freedom is at hand. We don't know who to trust. Trust in the Lord. I want you to listen.
I did not come here to also romance and mince my word. I have come to say the record very, very straight. Before going forward, those of you listening from Biafra land on the voice of Biafra 97.5 FM, live and direct in Biafra land, I tell you, good evening.
Then listen to what these people that are doing this are enjoying in the same Nigeria.
And like I said, it has become imperative to address him and address the interview he granted probably yesterday, the 13th day of February, or a day after. I am not very sure which day that interview was granted, where Barrister Ejiofor decided to mingle into the Biafra affair. And I want Biafra people to understand that Barrister Ejiofor is just doing his job as a lawyer. Barrister Ejiofor is doing his job. His job is to represent Nnamdi Kanu, and whoever that is paying him to represent Nnamdi Kanu, he represents and speak for the best interest of such group. We have also informed the lawyers that as far as this struggle is concerned, as far as Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, as far as the legal team has been humiliated by the Nigeria state, as far as the right of Nnamdi Kanu has been breached with impunity, irrespective of the lawyers, having no regard for the constituted authority, having no regard for the constitution of Nigeria, having no regard for the constitution and the international treaties of which Nigeria state is signatory to, having no regard to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu have a lawyer in the name of Barrister Ejiofor. The first day he appeared in court in Nigeria, Barrister Ejiofor was not informed. The first day he was dragged and brought to Nigeria, the lead counsel of the former lead counsel, Barrister Ejiofor, had no knowledge. And that could throw a very serious question to the possibility and the capability of the lead counsel then to continue to oversee and lead the legal team for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. When the Nigeria state will humiliate you, when the Nigeria state does not have regard to you, when the Nigeria state does not respect anything that you do for the best interest of our leader. I can understand that Barrister Ejiofor is going through a lot. And that is why I have always defended him on my program. That is why I have always asked people to use Barrister Ejiofor and respect me. And I know that this day is going to come. I know that for the fact that I have been defending Barrister Ejiofor on my program, I know that the next person they are going to use to attack Umuchineke, the only truth and the only auto-piloted IPOB under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, will be Barrister Ejiofor. I know that whenever Barrister Ejiofor come to speak in the favor of the criminals in the DOS, the last fight has begun. I know any day Barrister Ejiofor come to address the DOS as the people to listen to, it means we have won the battle. I have waited, and I was expecting this to happen after the court, but it happened earlier. I was expecting this particular interview, this particular last fight that Barrister Ejiofor granted this interview. I was expecting that interview, towards the end. of this month. And that's why I have always said that the criminals in DOS who have breached and who are treacherous in everything they do for Biafra restoration, that their end will be the end of this month. Because I was expecting Barrister Ejiofor to grant that interview by the end of September, by the end of February. Today, it has happened that this interview came earlier, like I didn't expect. And without wasting any time, I will be addressing Barrister Ejiofor. Like I said, I want Biafrans to understand that I will be coming from a different perspective. For those who are expecting me to begin to lash Barrister Ejiofor and to tear him apart and to expose him and to disgrace him and to make him, reduce him to nobody on media, believe me, I may disappoint you today, but you will not be disappointed completely. I want Biafrans to understand that Barrister Ejiofor is doing his job. His house has been attacked twice, assassination attempt, and people have been killed in the quest for his involvement in representing the indigenous people of Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu. People have been slaughtered in his home. His home has been burnt. And what I have come to tell you now is there are consequences. And the consequences is very, very clear. The consequences of Barrister Ejiofor involvement in Biafra, representing the indigenous people of Biafra, and probably some other things that are not in the public. So, as a human, he does his job. I am going to address this issue from the point of view of a legal professional. The issue you see today is that when the caliphate wanted to stop the economic sanction, when the caliphate wanted to stop the civil disobedience in Biafra land, when the caliphate wanted to truncate and scuttle the activities of the genuine IPOB, nicknamed the autopilot, when they have tried everything to scuttle the activities of these people, which I am very proud of, that want Biafra today, tomorrow, when they have tried to destroy the activities of this movement, when they have tried to betray the activities of this movement, when they tried to sabotage every move we have made to create awareness for the Biafra people, they all failed. They tried it through the DOS, the criminals there, they all failed. They threatened us on social media, it didn't work. They threatened us on Radio Biafra, it didn't work. They brought knives, some people brought knife on live TV to threaten us, it didn't work. They threatened all the people in Biafra land to kill them, and it didn't work. They unleashed Nigeria police, the GSS, the army against our people, it didn't work. So, and people have been campaigning and asking questions. What can they do to stop Simon Ekpa? Some people suggested that why can't Barrister Ejiofor go to our leader and let our leader pronounce Simon Ekpa, that Simon Ekpa has been sacked and Simon Ekpa is not part of them, and this and that. And a lot of people suggested that, oh, how can they do that? Because Simon Ekpa is not a member of IPOB, according to them. Simon Ekpa is not an OT member and all that. So there must be a way to scuttle the activity of the disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. And that is what you see today. They have failed, and I'm going to tell you today that the shot Ejiofor fired, he fired it at the wrong target. I've always tell people, when you live in a glass house, do not throw stone. When you live in a glass house, do not throw stone. When you throw stone, the stone may land at one of the glass and got the glass broken. Like I said, I always respect people, especially those that I respect. I respect them so much. I always give them what I call ofo in Igbo language: justice, fairness, equity. When Asaridu Kubo came and started attacking Nnamdi Kanu and the entire Eastern Security Network and IPOB on social media, it was as a result of agreement that Ejiofor went into with Asaridu Kubo and Wazurike. A lot of Biafrans questioned such agreement. A lot of Biafrans said Nnamdi Kanu can never have anything to do with Asaridu Kubo. And when you look at it, you know that is correct. When you look at it, you know that is absolutely correct. So the question you should be asking yourself is, you today that know that our leader Nnamdi Kanu can never have anything to do with Asaridu Kubo, why did Barrister Ejiofor went into agreement with Asaridu Kubo? The other question you should be asking yourself as we address this particular issue is, if Barrister Ejiofor went into agreement with Asaridu Kubo, like Asaridu Kubo claimed, or that he didn't go into agreement with Asaridu Kubo, like Asaridu Kubo claimed, did Barrister Ejiofor come live to address the question of Asaridu Kubo, whether that his claim was actually true or not? Barrister Ejiofor did not do that, so which means it is true. Another things you need to be asking yourself, another question is, let's agree that Barrister Ejiofor tried to reach agreement for the best interest of Nnamdi Kanu, because he was not alone. The wife was part of the agreement. The in-law was part of the agreement. But what should surprise you is, you, as a follower of Nnamdi Kanu, were you surprised to hear that Ejiofor reached out to Asaridu Kubo and Wazurike for peace talk? And when the information came public, what was your reaction as a follower, not just a follower, but a true follower of Nnamdi Kanu? Of course, many of you were disappointed. And that was the reason I came to make a video and say, Asaridu Kubo, I have not come here to attack you, but going forward, if you continue to attack Nnamdi Kanu, I will come for you. And exactly what I did. The same thing I'm going to do today. Because of this particular comment that came from Barrister Ejiofor, it must be very clearly stated, if he beginning to advocate for the state of Biafra, he must be very, very clearly to mention that to us. If he is ready to take part in the IPOB movement and agitation for Biafra, he must come very open. Because for now, the only business that Barrister Ejiofor have in Biafra struggle is to give us updates about the legal proceedings, about the technicalities, about what they are doing and preparing to defend Nnamdi Kanu and how he can be released unconditionally. Barrister Ejiofor have no business to come publicly to advocate or to speak on behalf of the criminals in the US. He has crossed the boundary, and that is unacceptable and will never be acceptable. I am going to not go too much and go deeper into what I'm about to do, but I will reserve it for the next time. But the question is this: the job of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu is to speak to Biafrans and give Biafrans update. As I speak to you today, not only that, that particular task of giving update to Biafrans has been zero. It is completely zero. And we can no longer accept, I have been saying it before, that we don't want to be hearing and reading how our leader is doing, how our leader is doing fine, how our leader is wishing us happy birthday, how our leader is celebrating with us in DSS dungeon while he sleeps without pillow. Simon Ekpa was the first person to raise alarm about the welfare, the maltreatment, the torture, and the bad condition of Nnamdi Kanu in DSS dungeon. Barrister Ejiofor and the legal team has been going to meet our leader, and they had the knowledge that our leader was being maltreated, was being tortured. Our leader were not sleeping with pillow. Our leader has not been allowed to change his cloth. The legal team and Barrister Ejiofor have full knowledge of this particular human rights abuse against our leader. They never come publicly to say it. They always come to tell us that our leader is in high spirit. I have been saying it, not today, not yesterday. I have started saying this months ago. It was after my complaint about that our leader have not been allowed to change his cloth. And of course, some of them suspected that maybe some information is leaking to me. And they came publicly to announce how bad our leader has been treated in the DSS dungeon. Now, the question I want to ask Barrister Ejiofor is, because you said that the video the interview will be recorded and will be given to our leader when it comes out. So you are putting it on record. Now, the question I want to ask you, Barrister Ejiofor, what was the reason why you have refused to raise alarm that our leader is not sleeping or was not sleeping with pillow? What was the reason you refused to raise alarm that our leader has not been allowed to change his cloth? What was the reason you refused to raise alarm that almost all his rights has been breached with impunity? Why have you refused to raise alarm that our leader has been tortured mentally, physically, and otherwise by not allowing him to have communication with anybody outside within this vicinity where he's been detained? Why have you refused to raise alarm that the room where you meet with Nnamdi Kanu?
Thank you for watching. If the video interests you, please share.
Until we were started